Okay, so this is 4 ways to whistle. Um, I can't whistle like very loud. I mean, I can whistle kind of loud, but like my mother, she can curl her lips in and just some sort of whistle that's like it's audible from like many blocks away. I can't do that, and I can't really whistle a lot of other ways you might have seen people whistle, but I can whistle the traditional way, and I'll show you the ways that I can whistle, and I'll try to explain how in a way that you can understand and possibly do yourself. So, the first kind is very simple. It's the normal whistle. You move you have your tongue like kind of just up and a little bit in the middle of your mouth, so that it kind of curves the air to go around it, but not so much that it's blocking the hole. And you move it in and out, further towards the tip of your mouth, and like you can't cover up the hole. You still have to have a constant airstream. But so that's how you're able to make it go really high and low. Like the bevel is in the very back of my mouth. And then when I go up higher, at that point my tongue is like very close to my lips, not covering the entrance, but I can't go much higher than that with that kind of a whistle. So hopefully that was enough for you to figure out how to whistle with one way. The second way is by putting your tongue to the roof of your mouth, creating like a kind of like a taco shape, but more of a rounded shape against the roof of your mouth, and using the roof, like using, you put your tongue against the front roof of your mouth where there's like a bridge at the top of your mouth, kind of like under your teeth. It goes down, not a bridge, but there's a point where it goes down, and then there's the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth. Right before it goes down is around where you want to make that bevel. You're going to make a hole between the roof of your mouth and your tongue, and blow through it, creating a bevel between the roof of your mouth and your tongue. You don't need your lips for this kind of a whistle, but it obviously does something. You can't go very low with it though, and it's not very loud. But if you make a low whistle with well, if you make a whistle that's as loud as you can with your tongue, and then try to move your lips in a way like you would with the first kind of whistle, you can make this other noise that sounds a little bit like a jet, that I cannot control like a whistle, like most of my whistling abilities. It's creating one bevel, and then there's another bevel, so it's like colliding bevels, I guess. And then there's another way that you don't use your mouth at all. You use your hands. And this is probably the most tricky. You want to start out by having your hands like in a good seal, like this kind of. You want to seal your hands, create as well of a seal as you can with your fingers like this. It can be done on either side. And then once you've created like a little hole in there, you want to press your thumbs forward and create, what's the word? A mouthpiece with your thumb. And you can adjust it like this, making it tighter or more open. And that's how you make different pitches with it. You have to place the point where your thumbs are right here, like your upper lip on it kind of. And you're going to have to move your mouth a little bit, adjust your embouchure, which is your lip positioning on the hole. Which if you're a flautist, you probably know what that's like, and it'll probably be pretty easy for you to get a hang of it pretty quickly. But I don't expect that you will be able to do this immediately, because I certainly wasn't. My sister showed me how to do it, and it took me a while of practicing before I could do it, and then I could do it in other ways I figured out from just practicing. So, I'll now demonstrate it. I might not be able to do it perfectly at first, because it takes some getting used to, even if you already know how to do it. You make that hole bigger by moving your hands apart, like inside. You still want it to be as sealed as possible. And if it's not very sealed, you can make a big hole and it won't be very low. So you want to make it as sealed as possible and big to make a low sound. Then, like right here, this is like a really high. You still want to have your hand covering the back, creating a seal there. And the embouchure, you'll probably have to adjust it, your lip positioning on the hole, or where the hole is, and the hole itself. But then you can make it really go a lot higher. You can make it go really high. At this point, I've opened up the back, and I have to put in a lot more air for it to actually create a little bevel, which is, where the air is like spinning around in a loop inside my hand with it not having a seal. So I'm going to try to go from low to high. Yeah. So those are 4 ways to whistle. I guess you could say it's really just 3 because one of them is combining the previous 2 ways to whistle. But it's at least 3 ways to whistle. I can also whistle by putting fingers in my mouth, but it's pretty much the same as the first whistle. You have to create a triangle, kind of like with your fingers. You can do it with any fingers, you just have to create a good triangle with the bottom of your lip. So yeah, now you got 4 ways to whistle.